When you live on an island surrounded by warm, clear water and a million ways to enjoy it, it's amazing you'll even have time to come up for air. Key West, close to perfect, far from normal. When you live on an island,
I was hearing the bang, bang, bang. Thought it was part of a song. Maybe Ying Yang Twins. You know, it sounds like something they'd come out with. And then when you turn around, the person next to you is like screaming. There's blood splattering. I didn't know if it was mine or somebody else's.
Because of the scale of the crime, I've asked the governor to declare a state of emergency. We're also issuing a state of emergency for the city of Orlando so that we can bring additional resources to bear to deal with the aftermath. Our focus is going to be on identifying the victims and notifying the families.
The most important thing we can do right now, as law enforcement is doing their job, and our healthcare workers are doing everything they can for the victims, is pray for everybody.
Although it's still early in the investigation, we know enough to say that this was an act of terror and an act of hate. And as Americans, we are united in grief, in outrage, and in resolve to defend our people.
We are America, and it's only here in America that we've continued to successfully thrive as a unit despite of our intellectual differences, our faith differences, our cultural differences, or our lifestyle preference. This is the sole reason why the world envies America, and we're not going to allow anyone to break that from us. We're not going to allow anyone to hijack that from us. So at this moment, and the call of the moment is for us all to come together in solidarity and unity to show what an American family is about. And that's all of us standing here and all those around this city of Florida who are standing in solidarity with the families of the victims. And we pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that He showers peace on this country, He showers peace on Orlando, especially during this blessed month of Ramadan, and allows us to represent what it is to be a good humanitarian. Jazakallah, Ameen.
Today, as Americans, we grieve the brutal murder, a horrific massacre of dozens of innocent people. We pray for their families who are grasping for answers with broken hearts. We stand with the people of Orlando who have endured a terrible attack on their city. Although it's still early in the investigation, we know enough to say that this was an act of terror and an act of hate. And as Americans, we are united in grief, in outrage, and in resolve to defend our people. I just finished a meeting with FBI Director Comey and my Homeland Security and National Security advisors. The FBI is on the scene and leading the investigation in partnership with local law enforcement. I've directed that the full resources of the federal government be made available for this investigation. We are still learning all the facts. This is an open investigation. We've reached no definitive judgment on the precise motivations of the killer. The FBI is appropriately investigating this as an act of terrorism, and I've directed that we must spare no effort to determine what, if any, inspiration or association this killer may have had with terrorist groups. What is clear is that he was a person filled with hatred. Over the coming days, we will uncover why and how this happened, and we will go wherever the facts lead us. This morning I spoke with my good friend Orlando Mayor Buddy Dyer, and I conveyed to him the deepest condolences of the American people. This could have been any one of our communities. So I told Mayor Dyer that whatever help he and the people of Orlando need, they are going to get it. As a country, we will be there for the people of Orlando today, tomorrow, and for all the days to come. We also express our profound gratitude to all the police and first responders who rushed to harm's way. Their courage and professionalism saved lives and kept the carnage from being even worse. It's the kind of sacrifice that our law enforcement professionals make every single day for all of us, and we can never thank them enough. This is an especially heartbreaking day for all of our friends, our fellow Americans who are lesbian, gay, bisexual, or transgender. The shooter targeted a nightclub where people came together to be with friends, to dance and to sing and to live. The place where they were attacked is more than a nightclub. It is a place of solidarity and empowerment where people have come together to raise awareness, to speak their minds, and to advocate for their civil rights. So this is a sobering reminder that attacks on any American, regardless of race, ethnicity, religion, or sexual orientation, is an attack on all of us and on the fundamental values of equality and dignity that define us as a country. And no act of hate or terror will ever change who we are or the values that make us Americans. Today marks the most deadly shooting in American history. The shooter was apparently armed with a handgun and a powerful assault rifle. This massacre is therefore a further reminder of how easy it is for someone to get their hands on a weapon that lets them shoot people in a school or in a house of worship or a movie theater or in a nightclub. And we have to decide if that's the kind of country we want to be. And to actively do nothing is a decision as well. In the coming hours and days, we'll learn about the victims of this tragedy, their names, their faces, who they were, the joy that they brought to families and to friends, and the difference that they made in this world. Say a prayer for them, and say a prayer for their families, that God give them the strength to bear the unbearable, and that He give us all the strength to be there for them and the strength and courage to change. We need to demonstrate that we are defined more as a country by the way they live their lives than by the hate of the man who took them from us. As we go together, we will draw inspiration from heroic and selfless acts. Friends who helped friends, took care of each other, and saved lives. In the face of hate and violence, we will love one another. We will not give in to fear or turn against each other. Instead, we will stand united as Americans to protect our people and defend our nation and to take action against those who threaten us. May God bless the Americans we lost this morning. May He comfort their families. May God continue to watch over this country that we love. Thank you.
After the deadly mass shooting during Latin Night at Pulse nightclub in Orlando, mourners gathered for a bilingual sermon at Iglesia El Calvario. Pastor Gabriel led the largely Hispanic crowd in prayer and song. Governor Rick Scott took the stage to reassure Floridians that they are resilient and held a moment of silence for the victims, in which the house lights were dimmed and everyone held up their lit cell phones. After the deadly mass shooting during Latin Night at Pulse nightclub in Orlando, mourners gathered for a bilingual sermon at Iglesia El Calvario. Pastor Gabriel led the largely Hispanic crowd in
A million ways to enjoy it. It's amazing you'll even have time to come up for air. Key West, close to perfect, far from normal.
Angel Mendez is praying for any sign of his brother John Carlos.
If you know him or seen him, please just contact me.
John Carlos was inside Pulse last night. Angel hasn't heard from him since yesterday.
I'm desperate because my mom, she lives in Jersey, and she don't know what to do.
Angel isn't alone.
Trying to find out if he's alive or dead, and they won't give out any names or nothing, and I'm just worried.
Jose Honorado is looking for his brother too.
I feel worthless. I can't do nothing because I don't know if he's okay.
He and many others can only wait and pray. While dozens are still in the hospital, thousands are doing everything they can to help. A line wrapping around this blood bank not far from the nightclub. People waiting hours in the heat for the chance to give.
So you just want to do something. You can't just stay at your house. You want to go out and do something.
Volunteers brought those in line water and food. After